Hello. The following information is being presented as part of the Governor Mifflin Area Citizens Academy that was developed by the 5 communities and school district in the Governor Mifflin area. The 5 communities in the Governor Mifflin School District include Brecknock Township, Cumru Township, Kenhorst Borough, Moulton Borough, and Shillington Borough. The following information is being presented in order to provide you with a better understanding of the organization and operation of the local units of government in the Governor Mifflin area and to help you become more involved in your local community. We hope you find the material helpful, and a copy of this recording may be obtained at any of the municipal offices or the school district administration building. The Governor Mifflin Area Citizens Academy is made possible through a grant from the Russell L. Hiller Charitable Trust Fund of the Berks County Community Foundation.
Hello, my name is Helen Flynn, and I'm Director of the Mifflin Community Library. I'm glad for the opportunity to speak with you today and tell you what we have to offer in materials, programs, and services, how we're faring in these difficult economic times, and on a more philosophical level, why we or any public libraries are still needed. Let me give you a little background first. Mifflin Community Library, located at the 5-point intersection where Lancaster Avenue and Philadelphia Avenue come together, is one of 19 public libraries in the county which belong to the federated library system known as Berks County Public Libraries. All these libraries are technically independent with their own boards and financial structures, but they receive services such as cataloging and processing through the system, as well as support for resource sharing such as interlibrary loan. Because of our membership in Berks County Public Libraries, the library card you get at Mifflin Community Library can be used at any of the other system libraries in the county. And the online catalog contains the holding of all the libraries in the system. Many policies such as loan periods and fines are also standard throughout the system. Although it had existed since the 1970s as a one-room library run by a women's club, Mifflin Community Library became a full state-aided member of Berks County Public Libraries in 2002, serving the municipalities in the Governor Mifflin School District. That was also the year when the library moved into its current building, the former Great Valley Bank in Shillington at 6 Philadelphia Avenue. In 2004, just 2 years after we moved into our new building, it became clear that the library was growing rapidly and needed to expand. A capital campaign was begun, plans for renovation and expansion were drawn up, and the library officially opened its new and renovated spaces in March of 2008. Like most of the libraries in Berks County, we offer much more than just books, although I'm happy to say that books are still in high demand at MCL. We carry a large range of popular fiction, including most of the bestsellers, and in spite of budget cuts, we still manage to buy multiple copies of works by the more popular authors such as James Patterson, Janet Ivanovich, Nicholas Sparks, and John Grisham. We also buy fiction which is sometimes a bit less popular, but which has received good critical reviews or has won prizes, such as the recent Man Booker Prize winner, Julian Barnes's The Sense of an Ending. And some types of fiction get a bit more emphasis than others. I myself am a real mystery buff, so I get special pleasure out of keeping us up to date in that genre. Our nonfiction collection is small but growing. I order books in some collection areas regularly, such as cookbooks, histories, self-help, computer help, and so forth. But in other areas, our resources are growing because of donated copies or collections which we've received. For instance, we received a collection of books about birds from a noted Berks County ornithologist, so I keep an eye out for new works to add to this collection. We also recently received a number of books on the Civil War, which we're eager to get cataloged so they'll be available to everyone. I've talked so far about books for adults, but of course we have books for children, teens, and older adults also. Our children's room, since our expansion in 2008, is our greatest glory. It's spacious, colorful, cheerful, and most importantly, roomy enough so that we can continue to add items to it as finances permit. We have fiction and a great deal of nonfiction, especially useful for school projects. There are board books for toddlers, picture books for preschoolers, early readers for children just learning to read, and chapter books for older children. We have a separate section of the library for teens, with beanbag and floor rocker reclining chairs and materials just for ages 12 to 18. And we have a popular large print collection with books for older adults whose vision requires bigger fonts, as well as a good collection of magazines we subscribe to for children, teens, and adults. Of course, these days, books come in forms other than print also. Our books on tape collection is shrinking as that technology is almost obsolete, but our books on CD are very popular and this collection is growing. We also have a few playaways, MP3 players loaded with a single book. And the digital age has arrived at our library too. E-books, which may be borrowed and downloaded to your computer, e-reader, or other mobile device, are available to all patrons of libraries in the Berks County system. Our library has also purchased 3 Nook e-readers with funding from the Friends of the Library, and people can check one of these out for 3 weeks. These are loaded with several fiction and nonfiction current bestsellers and a good selection of classics like Sherlock Holmes stories and Jane Austen novels. They give people a chance to try out the e-book technology to see how they like it and if they might be interested in buying an e-reader themselves. And we have the always popular movies, a few of them still on VHS tape, but most of them on DVD. These have the advantage over rental movies of being free, as are all our other materials too. We kept a great many families happy with this collection when the economic downturn left people without the means to rent movies or perhaps to keep their cable connections. We generally do not buy multiple copies of DVDs, but we buy a good range of the most popular and well-reviewed movies for children, teens, and adults, as well as a number of classic movies. We also buy nonfiction DVDs which are highly rated or which cover areas where we know our patrons have an interest. For instance, I recently bought several DVDs on chair yoga and Zumba fitness routines because those are very popular these days. I've been telling you about what we have in our library, but if we don't have it, we can usually get it for you. All the libraries in the Berks County Library System cooperate in lending books to other libraries' patrons. Because your library card is good at any of the other libraries, you could go to one of them to get materials we don't have. Or you could do it in an easier way and request that another library send the items to our library. We will notify you by phone or email when items are at MCL for you to pick up. Usually items arrive in 2 or 3 days if they're ordered from another county library. You may place the request yourself via our online catalog, or we will do it for you if you prefer. If no library in the county has an item you want, you can make an interlibrary loan request, and we will try to get the item from a library outside the county. Most of the items requested this way come from other parts of Pennsylvania, but we have sometimes gotten items from as far away as California and Alaska for our patrons. Because of the distances that may be involved, you need to allow at least 2 or 3 weeks to receive an interlibrary loan item. If you want something that you cannot get from another library, you have another option too. You may fill out a purchase request card asking me to buy it for the library, and of course to check it out to you first. I will not guarantee that I'll buy every item requested. I'd read the reviews for the item, consider how well it would fit into our collection, and look at the cost. But I do buy a high percentage of items requested, probably 85 or 90%. You have a better chance of getting me to buy the item, however, if you request it before the last 2 months of the year when I'm always running short of funds. We check out about 140,000 items a year, so we're busy for a small library. But we're even busier than that figure indicates because we have such demand for use of the library's computers. Computer usage at the library increased considerably in 2009 after the economic difficulties and unemployment caused many people to cancel their internet subscriptions or not to replace their broken or ancient computers. MCL is fortunate to have a lot of computers available for people to use. We have 3 preschool children's computers with educational games and many internet-enabled computers, including 18 desktops, 4 laptops, and 2 netbooks. We also have a charging cart and 7 laptop computers which are not checked out to patrons but are used as our computer lab for classes. Speaking of classes, computer classes are one of the many types of programs the library offers. A year or so ago, we were part of the Berks County Public Library's grant to partner with CareerLink to provide extra help to job seekers. We offered additional computer, internet, and word processing classes, as well as workshops in using the CareerLink website, resume writing, interviewing skills, and writing cover letters. Although the grant period has ended, this emphasis continues with offerings in a Computer 101 course, a revamped 3-part Microsoft Word workshop, and an Excel spreadsheet course. We also offer a wide variety of other programs. We have 4 children's story times a week during the school year, and special children's programs too, ranging from tea parties and bilingual story times to opportunities to read to a therapy dog, to Dr. Seuss skits, to baby lap sits. Teens have their own programs, including recently one on the silly side of Shakespeare, an opportunity to hear a prize-winning teen read poetry followed by open mic time, a karaoke party, and a book discussion group. Adults have had workshops in topics such as chair yoga, attracting songbirds to a garden, using electricity monitors to reduce an electric bill, container gardening, e-books and e-readers, and many more. There's a stitching group that meets at the library every Monday, a writers group that meets every Thursday, and a monthly book discussion group. The library also sponsors a summer concert series of 3 free concerts, usually in Mountain Park. Summer is a time for particularly fun programs, as we offer summer reading clubs for children, teens, and adults. This year, the general theme is nighttime, so we're having programs on dreams and dream catchers, bats and raccoons, pajamas and bedtime stories, stars and planets. And now let me tell you about our staffing and funding. We have 10 employees, all of whom are part-time except me. We rely heavily on the 40 to 50 volunteers who do our shelving and phone calls, as well as the other volunteers who weed and water our plantings, help maintain our building, and help with our golf outing fundraiser. Our operating funding comes from several sources. About 25% comes from the state, another 26% from the county, about 29% from the municipalities we serve, and the remaining 20% from library use charges and donations. The library accomplishes all of the things I've told you about on a budget that has shrunk substantially in the last 3 years, from $241,000 to under $224,000. As you may be aware, Pennsylvania state funding for public libraries was cut by 27% in 2010 and another 11% in 2011. We've had to try to do more with less, and it hasn't been easy. Employees have gone without raises. We've begged and borrowed, but not stolen, to get people to do free programs for us. We've asked patrons to donate items like used mailing envelopes. We've worked just about every angle we can think of to keep our services at the same level with less money. Meanwhile, the many computers we have are getting older, costs for books, DVDs, and other materials are going up, and now we're entering a new era with expenses for digital ebooks. We're very grateful for the consistent support of the municipalities who contribute a significant portion of our funding, and we will likely need even more local support in the coming years, since knowledgeable people do not project increased state support in the future. But libraries are actually a good investment. Recent studies have shown that there's a $5 return on investment for every $1 spent in Pennsylvania to support a library. I hope all the information I've given you about the materials and services that Mifflin Community Library provides have helped you see the library as a significant asset to the community. It has become a community gathering place as well as a place to check out books and other materials. Some people ask if there's still a need for libraries, since so much information is becoming digital and accessible over the internet. My answer, of course, is yes, and my reason is threefold. First, in our increasingly digital and impersonal age, we need the kind of community gathering place libraries offer. Second, libraries provide access to and guidance in using information that is reliable and has been subjected to rigorous editorial analysis, not just anything that a teenage blogger feels like posting to the internet. So the quality of the information a library can lead you to is normally superior to that pulled up with a simple Google search. Third, libraries exist to provide free and equal access to information for all citizens. They are a powerful instrument of our democracy and of the American dream, which says that all people can better themselves. With the help of a library, citizens can be informed participants in our process of self-governance and can educate and improve themselves. J.A. Langford sums it up well. He wrote, "The only true equalizers of the world are books. The only treasure house open to all comers is a library, and the only wealth which will not decay is knowledge." I hope to see you at Mifflin Community Library. Thank you.